something that they can do with AI now is if someone passes away, you never have to experience grief. You can just make an AI version of whoever it is that passed away, same mannerisms, same lingo, whatever it is.
It is I, the Poptimist, and today we have Rose Savage, the Stone Flower.
Yes, that's me. I never thought about it like that,
Yeah.
actually. Wow. Stone Flower.
Yeah.
That is I. Hello.
So you were just talking a second ago. You quit vaping.
I did.
On January 1st.
I did.
How are you feeling?
I feel great. Honestly, I feel great. This is many runs of me quitting vaping. Like, I quit vaping for like 4 months, and then I pick it up again for 4 months. Normally during the holidays, because obviously it's stressful, but now
Nothing
I'm
feels
for real.
better than when you
I
suck
know,
in that
dude.
fucking nicotine.
But it is so embarrassing to be addicted to strawberry twist. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I really, that was part of the reason why I quit, because I was like, I can't. It's hardcore cool to be addicted to Marlboro Reds. Like, you're a fucking cowboy. Like, you're a badass. You've killed somebody. You probably got a felony. That's cool. But strawberry twist, I'm not scared of you.
Yeah.
Like, nobody is scared of anybody addicted to Miami Mint. Like, I'm just saying. But also for health reasons and shit too. And I got to take care of the voice, and I got to take care of the skin.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm 30, so
Yeah.
you're in your 30s, so I get it.
Yeah. I stopped vaping a couple of years ago.
Oh, good for you.
And just switched to the nicotine pouches.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if I notice a difference per se. It is easier to walk upstairs just because it's like, at night, would you like ghost hit it while you were like half asleep and shit? Okay, so you're better than I was.
I was always very coherent about not smoking it like while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think about this thing. I used to work in this gas station in 4 Oaks, North Carolina, and this old man used to come in, and he was a doctor, and he told me that the reason why people get cancer, and I don't know how true this is, don't quote me on this, but this is just what he said. But he said the real reason why people get cancer and issues in their body is because within the first hour of them waking up, they're hitting the vape or they're hitting cigarettes. Like, that first hour within you waking up is the most important hour. Like, you got to nourish it. You got to give yourself water and vitamins. Like, that's super, super important. And people, first thing they wake up, they have a cigarette and they have, a vape or a hit of the vape or whatever. And then bam, they got lung cancer. But I'm not saying that just because you wait an hour after you get up to smoke that you're not going to get cancer. I'm sure you will. But I'm saying that it's stuck with me for some reason. And so, like, I never had the desire to smoke at like late at night or like during my period of sleep or even like within the first hour of waking up. I don't know. It just never
didn't appeal to you.
Didn't appeal to me. No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just tasted weird. It was like, this is the wrong time to do this. Like, this is an 11 o'clock move. Like, not a 3 o'clock in the morning move.
Well, it's like eating brisket and drinking scotch at 10 a.m.
Ew.
Those are nighttime.
Yeah.
Things to do.
That's. Yeah. That is.
So one thing I wanted to get your perspective on, we started talking a little bit about it before we got rolling today, was AI.
Oh, yeah.
So this has been on my mind a lot. Obviously, because we're both creatives.
Right.
We live in Nashville. This is what we do. But I think there's also, outside of that, there's some really interesting morality stuff that comes up with it. Because, like, the thing I was kind of thinking about today, I'm like, well, someone could just make a porn of, like, Taylor Swift and Denzel Washington now.
Yeah.
But what they can also do, and to take this a layer deeper, is when I started thinking about it, I'm like, people can make child porn.
People are making child porn.
Yeah.
That's the issue, yeah.
Yeah. So this is, like, I'm trying to figure out how to say this in a graceful way, but if you can do that, is it better that they can do that and no real children are harmed? Should it be illegal? Like, what do you think?
I think it shouldn't happen at all. Like, I don't think there should even be a desire to want a child in that manner. You know what I mean? And I understand it's an illness. Like, yeah, of course, pedophilia is an illness. But if you have an illness, you need to go seek help for it. Like, if it's going to harm somebody that's not able to consent for themselves. Like, the thing is that, yeah, AI could create, theoretically, child porn that doesn't involve real children. But that begets your want for a real child.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. I agree, but it's also like, and I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. It's like having methadone clinics in a way.
Okay.
That could be the alternate view on it. And
right.
and I don't know what the right or the wrong thing is. Is it fucked up? Should it not happen? Yes,
right.
I agree with all of that.
Right.
But that's not the reality that we're living in.
Right.
It's not going to stop, because it was maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, people started making like child sex dolls and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is like, on one hand, people say, well, this is good because they can let out their desires that way. But it's also like, well, does this encourage them to want the real thing?
I think it's the latter. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is this, like, if it's kind of like quitting cold turkey, like when you're quitting cigarettes or something like
Quitting
that.
vaping?
Quitting vaping, yeah. You just got to fucking do it. Quit. Like, don't give yourself an alternative that's going to, help that need or, suppress that need. Like, because it's eventually you're going to want the real thing.
Yeah.
And that's going to harm someone.
Absolutely.
Especially in this perspective. And I mean, it's an issue right now. They're making like AI child porn. And it's not even just with child porn that they're doing this. Like, it's other detrimental shit that's like mentally and socially fucked up. Like, one of the things, like, not to switch the subject, but something that really came to mind the other day was that something that they can do with AI now is, if someone passes away, you never have to experience grief. You can just make an AI version of whoever it is that passed away, same mannerisms, same lingua, whatever it is.
The music business industrial complex in Big Hollywood doesn't fund anything it can't control. Independence is their greatest nightmare. That's why we're banned from advertising on multiple platforms. This show runs on listeners, not sponsors. If you've ever sent anything, you've already paid for future episodes. Venmo below. Bring back danger.
And you never have to experience grief. That shit's fucking scary. But, same question. Is it helpful to that person, like in that specific scenario? Or is it more healthy to experience real grief and understand, like, hey, this person's gone. Like, this AI version of them is never going to replace that.
Well, what if it's something that goes hand in hand, where it teaches you, but I'm saying this out loud, about to say this out loud, but I know it's not true. You use it as a way to like experience that grief and experience, but I feel like that's more nuanced than most people are with this technology.
Right.
Because it's incredibly complex. And if human beings can rely on something and use it as a crutch,
right,
they will.
Exactly.
You got to think, at the time of, even when the printing press came out, people were like, this is as many people were like, this is incredible. Right. They were like, this is a horrible fucking invention.
Right.
We need to burn the factory down where this is. Or when the automobile first got invented, what happens to all the horse breeders?
Yeah. Right.
And it's like, I think that this is such a weird, moralistic, and it's in a gray area in some ways in regards, and this is such an extreme example because it's literally glorifying the harm of children. Right. But it's like, because it's like, well, school shooters, for instance, there was that whole thing with Columbine that they played like Doom and they listened to fucking 9 Inch Nails or something similar to that. It might not have been exactly that. Right. But did those things make them do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question that they asked back then.
Yeah, so. And I still think, like, I don't think it's that made them do it, but do I think if someone's already mentally ill and they have a sickness, it can encourage them. Because I feel like if you're making AI child porn, you're not wanting to get better.
Correct. Exactly. You want to find an easier way to get what it is that you want to, like, satisfy that need.
Yeah.
As gross as that is.
But it's such a weird moralistic, like, do I think it's repulsive and do I think it's harmful? Yes, 100%.
Right.
But is there a way to, like, ever really fucking help these people? You know what I mean? I don't think so either. I think it's like my opinion has always been, like, the death penalty, that's what it's there for something like that. If like you're willing to fucking sexually assault a child, we have no space for you on this planet.
Correct. And that's kind of my sentiments on it too. Like they're trying to pair themselves with like, say, somebody from the LGBTQ community. Like they're trying to say that this is like a sexual preference, but that's not even close to what it resembles at all. Like it's not at all like being lesbian or gay, like
or trans
or transgender. Like you can have preferences, but if you're not speaking to a consenting adult, you're a fucking predator.
Yeah.
Point blank period. So that's where the gray line happens.
Well, it's people that are scummy like that are always going to find a way to co-opt themselves to a movement. And I think like a lot of movements, no matter what it is, always gets brought down by people like that because politicians are able to use that. And it's like, I haven't even really heard anyone talk about like AI in terms of child porn yet, you know? It's like there's no politicians because it's such a hard topic for people to talk about and for them to be able to stomach. But it's like, it's here.
But not only... Oh, wait, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, not only that, but, like, look at our politicians right now. They probably all love that shit.
Yeah.
So, like, of course they're not going to talk about it.
Well, you look at, like, my thing is with like, Jeffrey Epstein, for instance.
Right.
I'm like, okay, so he only targeted 11-year-old or 13-year-olds or 15-year-olds, whatever it was. You're telling me that there wasn't some billionaire motherfucker that went to him and be like, I want a newborn baby.
Yeah.
Because that is the darkness that exists that no one wants to talk about.
Right.
And these fucking politicians ain't talking about that.
Right.
I'm like, so you're telling me that there's X number of people that are murderers and serial killers in the world, and that one of these fucking billionaires that went to that island, one of their kinks wasn't like making snuff films,
or
killing fucking children,
right,
or any of that shit.
Right.
It's the shit that's so unpopular to talk about, but it's so fucking real. And there's no, I don't, truthfully, the jaded side of me is like, there's no fix for that. Yeah. There's nothing you can legislate because it's been happening since the dawn of fucking humanity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even look at like earlier Hollywood. Like they've been doing that.
Oh
shit.
Yeah.
They've just gotten. They've just become sneakier. They've been able to hide it easier now.
Well, another example I always use is Bill Cosby. Okay,
right.
He was a maybe the most prolific rapist in history.
Right.
Of all time. And
he was bad.
And he was drugging these women.
Yeah.
And that was his kink, was them being unconscious. You're telling me that all of the women that he drugged, he never once slipped something to someone that had like a heart condition and that died from it? Like, that's the other thing that people don't really talk about. I'm like, because that shit kills people, dude.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like, so you're telling me that there wasn't, some 22-year-old girl fresh off the bus from like Idaho or something,
right,
that got drugged and she had a heart condition that even maybe she didn't know about. And that's the dark shit where I'm like, what's fucked up is he's out of jail now.
Yeah, I know. But he's decrepit. Like there's no life left in him. And I think he got what he deserved in jail.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. But, also at the same time, like, even if there was somebody that took one of the, like, Rohypnol or whatever it was he was slipping into their drinks and they did have, like, a heart attack, he had enough money and influence and connections to be able to
sweep it under the rug.
I think about that shit all the time, like, not even just with Bill Cosby, just in general. Like, I think about, like, when I'm walking in Walmart and I see the fucking missing person signs on the wall, I'm like, this whole fucking world, all the surveillance we have in the world, all the, just tapping into being able to see what people are doing at any point in time on the street, in a store, whatever. You mean to tell me we still have missing people in the world? I think there's people out there who knows what happened to these people.
Yeah.
And I think that, tying back into that kind of scenario, like, yeah, I'm sure some of these celebrities probably have some inkling of knowledge of what happened to some of these people.
Well, it was an open secret for fucking years, whether it was Bill Cosby or Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
He was the other example. And like,
yeah,
I am a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I love Quentin Tarantino.
Right.
But Harvey was like his mentor. And do I want to?
Both like feet, man.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like anybody that likes feet, like you just got to be careful with them. Anyway,
but it's like what is like? How much did what someone like Quentin Tarantino know in that circumstance?
Probably a lot.
Yeah,
I'm sure. That's the thing is like I can't. These celebrities out here that are like with the Epstein files coming out and like all the shit in Hollywood that's coming out, like the truth about it. Like you can't tell me that all these people just didn't fucking know. They just, oh, well, whoops, I left the party early. No, you fucking didn't. You were there. Like, and even if you did leave early, you knew what the fuck was going to happen, which is why you left early. You know what I mean? I'm like, you can't, it just doesn't add up to me.
Do you remember during COVID, like Chris D'Elia and that whole scandal, the stand-up comedian?
No.
So Chris D'Elia, he was like a big stand-up comedian for a while. And he was like on the Whitney Cummings show, and he was famous basically for being a stand-up and being on Whitney's show. She had like a sitcom where he played her boyfriend or husband or something like that.
Sounds familiar, but I
can't you would probably recognize him if you saw him. But he basically got busted during COVID that he was messaging like underage girls, allegedly. Like I still don't know, because I think it's still creepy and weird if like a guy who's like 43 is trying to fuck an 18-year-old.
Yes.
Like it's weird. But the other side of that is, well, it's like technically, yes, it is legal, but like, he basically got canceled for all of that.
Right.
So I can't remember where I was going with it, but Whitney was like, oh, I had no idea that was happening. I don't fucking believe that, dude.
Yeah.
I believe that everybody knew. Like, maybe they thought he was just fucking 19-year-olds, and it's like, okay,
right,
fair enough. Like, I don't necessarily like agree with it, but it's also not my life. Live and let live. You can do what you want.
Right.
But it's shit like that really, like the shit that people don't want to pay attention to. They want to let go.
Right.
I feel like you have the same obsession as me, where you smell something and you're like, something's not right.
Absolutely. Here. And that's the thing about like with predators too, like they're not quiet. Like that's the thing. Like it's contrary to popular belief. People who prey on, minors or have like a sexual affiliation with that, they are not quiet people. Like they'll always make themselves known and what they really are like to the people that are closest to them. I mean, just look at the fucking roast of Bob Saget. That was full of dog whistles, of, weird jokes about the Olsen twins, about how he would like creep into their changing rooms and shit. Like I think the easiest way to hide something's in plain sight. And with people like that, like they're not quiet people. They may hide what they're doing for a certain period of time, but when they get comfortable enough, like they'll show it. And they'll show it to the people who are closest to them. So that's why I don't really trust when people say like, oh, well, I didn't know. Like, and you're his best friend. You didn't know that he was over here.
Well, think about the
15-year-olds.
The relationship that you have with any of your best friends, like any of your closest friends. We know a lot about them. Like I know a lot about my friends.
Right.
Like more than I want to sometimes.
Right.
But I think that's a really interesting thing to think about, is that they're kind of out parading it in a way.
Right. Exactly, because they're proud of it. That's the thing. Like it's kind of a pride thing, because like psychologically people who prey on minors or people who aren't able to consent feel some type of control or power they get from that, which is part of the attraction for them. You see what I mean? So like if they're able to make that known in some way without it giving away what they're actually doing, then like it's kind of like a catharsis for them. They're like, okay, well, nobody really knows like I'm over here looking up child porn, but like I'm gonna make it known here and there, like maybe comment on that really young girl's like top at the bar or something, and nobody will notice because nobody will think anything of it. But I know, you know what I mean? That's like what's in the mind of a predator. Like it's like real psychological shit.
Well, I don't know if you saw this, but there was recently some claims against Albert Hammond Jr. from the Strokes.
I don't know if I've heard about that. No.
So I don't know. That's the thing with this day and age. Like, this is all alleged. I don't know if it's actually happened. If it were, or because there is a factor where it's like someone's in the public eye. They people will try and fuck with you and like slander your name and shit. But basically, this girl posted these DMs of him like being in her DMs.
Oh God!
And she like he was saying shit. He was like, "How old are you? What's your age?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm only 16, whatever." And he was like, "Oh, I wouldn't have known," like saying shit like that. And it's like and all of that got brushed under the rug really quickly because a couple weeks later. Guess what the Strokes announced? They're headlining Bonnaroo.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, that was, I don't know like how unsubstantiated necessarily that claim was.
Right.
But it definitely was like.
Made you side-eye it. But and that's the thing. Like, if once somebody is painted or labeled as like a predator in some type of way, you never unsee that with them. Like, I guess I feel that way. Like, anytime somebody's like, it's like with stealing, like, or something. Like, if I know that somebody told me, oh, you stole from them once, I'm always going to keep an eye out on you. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's true or not, like, that's the power of information. That's the power of spreading that. It's a good thing sometimes, but it can be a bad thing too.
What is your opinion on someone like Louis C.K.?
To be honest with you, I never looked too far into that case. Louis C.K. I just knew that he like preyed on a 16-year-old or
no, it was not. It was nothing. There was no one like underage in any of the Louis shit.
Okay.
So what it was with Louis is he would basically ask women, if they would be willing to watch him jerk off.
Okay.
But it was women that were like working for him.
Oh.
So it was shit like that. So it's interesting to me. Like, I always have like been lukewarm on Louis. Like, I think some of his stuff is funny and some of it's really good. Like the show Louis, like there's a couple episodes that really resonated with me. But someone like Louis, like, he even said this in the opening of one of his stand-up comedy bits. He was basically like, "Well, I even if someone says yes to watching you jerk off, don't do it."
Oh God,
that's basically what he said. And it's like for someone like Louis, I feel like that is something that is entirely in the gray area, because it was all people that consented at the time. But like the other factor is. Well, he had money and he had power, and he was technically employing some of them. Did they feel like they didn't have the power to say no?
Or they were coerced or like threatened in some way, like with their job, which is a real thing. Happens all the time.
Yeah. So it's like as a guy, you don't really ever experience stuff like that.
Right.
Like I can think of, actually there's one time I did experience something like this.
Oh shit.
Well, at work. So it was when I was working for this property management company.
Right.
And there was a woman that was my boss. She was the property manager. I was working at this place that I was living at. And I didn't understand this until like after the fact. Like it clicked for me. It wasn't until like years later that I realized what was happening.
Right.
But she would always come up to me and fucking be really touchy-feely and like massage my shoulders while I was at my desk and shit.
Oh,
and
God.
I'm not that guy.
Right.
Like I don't care who it is. Don't fucking touch me.
Right, that's weird.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
On the clock?
Yeah, on the clock. And she would make like sexual comments and stuff like that to me. And I really didn't think anything of it because I think a lot of the time I'm really thick. I don't realize in the moment that like a woman is hitting on me.
Fair.
When it on the rare occasion it does actually happen. But what was interesting that happened preceding is she made some comment to me. We were like at work working. It was just the two of us in the office.
Right.
And she was talking about how she was like 5 foot. She was super small. Like if she came at me, I could just be like, boom, and knocked her the fuck out. Not that I would have, would have had to do that, but she was like, yes, she was telling me how she's from Mexico, and in Mexican culture that like sexual harassment really isn't a thing. And I was like, why is she telling me this? Because I didn't necessarily feel sexually harassed when she was making the comments that she was making. I didn't give a fuck. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
You know, I paid no never mind to it. And it wasn't long after that she transferred me to another spot to work.
Oh shit! So she didn't even. Oh my god!
And the web keeps getting weaved. Okay, so that was I get transferred to this other apartment complex.
Right.
I might have told you the story. I can't remember.
No,
if I have.
This is news to me.
Okay, so I was working at this place called the Cedars, which is no longer called the Cedars anymore. It's right on Elm Hill Pike.
Okay.
On Briley Parkway. It's the shitty fucking apartments that are right on the corner across from the old Bridgestone building.
I think I know exactly where that is.
Yeah,
actually.
right on the corner.
Right.
And I was working there. There was this assistant manager that she and we fucking hated each other. Like, we hated everything that she was as a person. I just didn't like.
It's a canon event.
Yeah.
We all go through them.
I was 25 or so at the time. And we would constantly, like, bicker and fight. And I was just getting in trouble all the time at work, even though I was doing my job.
Right.
Because especially when you do sales, you can kind of get away with a lot more if you sell, if you're like successful at it.
Right.
And what was happening was all of these AC units were out in the apartments, like half of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a 400 unit apartment, which that's fucking a lot for 200 units, 150 units to be down.
There's a lot of people living in there.
Exactly.
A lot of homeless people squatting in there.
So what happened was people were coming in. They were starting to fuck up my money.
Oh.
And they were complaining while I was taking people on tour. So I went to the actual property manager, and I was like, at first I tried to go to the maintenance guys. I was like, hey, what's going on with this?
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to bust your guys' balls, but you're busting mine right now.
Right.
You're not doing your I said in a nice way, you're not doing your fucking job, and it's costing me. What's going on?
Right.
And they were like, oh, we're just waiting on parts, whatever. So I continues to happen. Nothing gets better. It gets worse.
Right.
I go to the property manager, and she's like, oh, okay, we'll look into it. They ended up looking into it. One of the actual general manager of all 5 properties that were in Nashville started interviewing the maintenance guys one-on-one to find out what was going on.
Oh.
And she sat the head of maintenance down and asked him what was going on. And he's like, guilty conscience, kind of what we're talking about.
Right.
They were having gangbangs in the apartments during work hours with the assistant fucking property manager that hated me. They were like smoking blunts and shit. And I don't give a fuck what anyone does. Don't get me wrong. Like, you could just do your thing.
They were gangbanging in the houses?
Yeah, in the apartments.
Ew.
Yeah, in the vacant apartments they were like getting ready. And so I was like, I accidentally like triggered uncovering all of this shit just by being like, A, I don't like this woman. B, like, and I had no idea that was going on because I would go to her and complain and she wouldn't do anything about it.
But go ahead.
I had to go to the boss above her to get something done. And what was fucked up too, and again, we did not get along. I didn't like her. She didn't like me. They only fired her. They didn't fire any of the men.
Nice.
So
wait.
Yes. So I immediately fucking right away was on a warpath. I was like, this is illegal. This is wrong. You guys are fucked up. This is disgusting.
Because all of y'all were fucking. What? Like,
exactly. And I was just basically told to shut the fuck up about it. Like
Why?
Because they didn't want to get into a fucking lawsuit. They were able to fire her and have it all go away. And I will tell you, that was the worst place I've ever worked. And all it really did was it put a target on my back to be like, Taylor does not play ball.
Right.
Taylor will fucking tell everybody. And now I am. Right. I'm telling it on the fucking podcast.
He's telling everybody now.
But they tried to write me up for months months and months and months.
After the fact?
After the fact of like unrelated shit. They would be like, your desk is messy or whatever.
What the fuck? Oh God.
So every time that they tried to sit me down to write me up, I would bring up the fucking gangbangs. I would be like, there was sexual misconduct happening during work hours that you guys, none of those people got written up. And only, by the way, only the woman got fired. And I would just like hammer it home every time. Eventually I did get fired.
Hey.
Because I called my boss a pill popping drunk one day.
I mean,
which was not untrue. I stand by that. But I made this moral fucking stance. And long story short, what it really taught me was if something is happening that I don't like, is to just get away from it. Like breaking even is a victory in itself.
Yeah.
Because I went on a moral crusade, Rose.
Right.
Where I was like, this is so wrong. And by the way, this was all run by women.
Wow.
This is not a cigar chomping man in the background.
And that's interesting to me, considering the fact they would only fire the woman and not everybody. You know what I mean?
Well, they basically just so that they fucking And I brought that up. Like I brought it up repeatedly. And what was so funny is all of this came out on like a Friday afternoon, and I was just about to get on a plane to Florida.
Right.
So it was like again, unknowingly to myself, like by talking about these ACs and being like, we need to do something about this, turned into, oh, there were gangbangs happening.
Right. You uncovered a harem, basically.
Yeah.
Of maintenance men and an assistant manager.
Yeah. And it was so illuminating to human nature, though.
Right.
Where I'm like, they're all just trying to protect their jobs right now. They do not give a single fuck about right or wrong.
Oh, no.
They're scared.
No.
They're protecting their bottom line. That's all it is. And I was like, oh, shit. Just the way that I got upset that someone was fucking with my money.
Yeah.
They looked at me and they were like, this guy's fucking with our money.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad for business if he says anything.
It's a cycle. It continues. You help one person and then it comes right back to you and vice versa.
And they just expected us to look the other way and not say anything. And
yeah.
I was, especially at that age, I didn't have any tact yet. And I didn't always express myself in the best way.
Dude, I feel it.
But I was on a war path. I was like, everybody's going to know about this. This is so fucked up.
I would be too. I mean, to some degree, it's really not that fair. Like, why didn't they all just get fired? Like,
I think that is the solution, is like, you fire everybody.
Right.
But like, I think from a legal standpoint, they had protection because Tennessee is like in the court of public opinion, I don't know. And if it actually went in front of a judge, I don't know what would have happened because technically she was a superior.
Right. So there could have been like coercion brought up or something.
Yeah, but nobody was being coerced, dude.
No,
I will tell you that much.
I'm sure. It's like a weird Cinderella story of some kind.
And
like.
it was. I will tell you, it was like 4 or 5 different maintenance guys in this one chick.
I can't. The mental image is just terrible. Like.
But yeah, like. That let me know so much about the way that the world really operates.
Yeah.
So it's like all this shit with Jeffrey Epstein or fucking Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, Chris D'Elia. I'm like, you know what? It's fucking, it is what it is. Or like, I'll give you another example. Do you know about Armie Hammer at all in that whole saga?
Armie Hammer, that sounds super familiar.
So he was like an A-list actor. He was in the Social Network. He played the twins in the Social Network.
I think I know who he is in my head. I just don't remember who or what he did.
So he got canceled for basically for having a cannibalism kink.
Ew. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that sounds familiar to me. I feel like I've read something about that.
Yeah, so that turned into a whole story. And like all the text messages leaked and all of that shit. All the women were consenting.
To cannibalism?
To his kink of cannibalism. Like it was like all over text and all of that. And it came out like what he was saying and the shit he was saying.
Were they like suicidal women that just... They were like, you know what? You can just eat my tit. Like, I don't need it anymore.
Well, I think that gets into another gray area of consent because from what at least what got released and what was said, everything that these women did, it was consenting. Like, they were willing to do it.
Weird.
So,
I mean, you don't need the body anymore. So I guess, like, if somebody wants to eat it, go for it. You can, you know.
But I think it was the talking about it that he liked. But again, it's like, well, if you like talking about it, it's like what we were talking about with AI child porn. Are you going to want to do it? Have you done it?
Right.
If you have unlimited power and unlimited means, like, what is the area on that? And he recently got cast in a movie. Mm-hmm. The guy that I had on a couple weeks ago now, Dallas Saunier from Bonfire Legend, he cast him in a Western movie, and I watched the movie, and Armie Hammer was great in it.
Right.
But, or like Kevin Spacey, he's another example.
Yeah.
Where technically there were claims that came out about him, but where does the line exist?
That's a good question. That's the $1 million question, man. I'm telling you. But,
situation by situation.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, like, I feel like cannibalism and child pornography are two very different ballparks. So, like, I personally feel that, like, at least if you know what cannibalism is, you are of age to be able to consent. I feel like, at least to some degree. Maybe not, actually. You might know what cannibalism is when you're 16 and you're not able to consent at that age. Anyway.
Well, there wasn't any claims like any that. Like, there was nothing underage.
Right.
Or anything like that.
So this was just like grown 35-year-old women who were tired of life. And they were like, you know what? You can fry up my toes and eat them like chicken nuggets or whatever. Like, I
think that was the kind of conversations that they were having.
But, like, I wonder what the other person gets out of that with cannibalism. Like, because you're not here to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because, like, you got... In this example, you got Armie Hammer. He wants to eat another woman alive or whatever his weird ass wants to do. But then the other woman is like, okay, cool. So, like, some way, like, you gotta be getting something out of it. But how would you be here to experience it if you're gonna be eaten?
But
you know what I mean?
But it's also, is it like just the fantasy of like talking about it?
Yeah, that could be it. I don't know. Did he actually ever eat anybody? Like,
well. We don't know that. Like, that's where the line exists.
Like, we need to know these things. Why are we casting these people in movies in Hollywood if they're fucking eating people? Like, I don't know. But they've also kind of been telling us that for a long time, like through movies and shit. Like, they've been kind of hinting at that there's some weird shit going on in Hollywood.
I think there's some weird, dark shit. And it's like we want to chalk it up to politics, but I feel like that's just another thing that people hide behind, whether it's right or left or whatever it is. It's like if you're a weirdo and you're a freak, and it's like people can do whatever they want in their own bedrooms.
Right.
There's very few things I would actually judge someone for. Like the AI, a child porn thing, yes, I judge that. Like if I found
100%.
out someone that I knew was doing that, they would no longer be in my fucking life.
Correct.
The cannibalism thing, probably the same.
Absolutely
Like it would make me feel very uneasy. But like what Louis did, where he was just basically asking girls to watch him jerk off, and they all said yes, and maybe at the time they felt pressured. I don't know. That one I feel like is a little bit more gray.
Fair. I need to do more research on it before I
would be very curious. I think you're such a good moral barometer.
Well,
Rose, there's very few people that I could have in here to talk about this shit with.
Talk about cannibalism and child porn with. Yeah. That's me, guys.
That's like unaffected and will philosophically ponder these ideas with me.
I don't know. It's kind of like nothing surprises me anymore. I think that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very open to conversation about anything. Like, very similarly, Taylor, like I very rarely judge anybody on anything because I'm like, at the end of the day, we are human. And I'm not saying that like anybody who listens to or watches child porn or eats people are,
or has a kink where they might want to eat people.
Yeah. I'm not really exactly talking about those people. I'm talking about like normal people with regular fetishes. Like, I don't know. Like if I don't know. You like to smell feet. That's, I guess, kind of harmless. Like, whatever. But I'm not fond of it personally. But, like, whatever. That's, like, not a big taboo thing to me. I think there's crazier things in the world.
Yeah.
There's crazier shit in the world.
Well, I feel like it's probably scary dating as a woman because you don't know what a guy is going to be into.
Dude, it's horrific dating as a woman. I'm telling you right now, it's not good. The dating pool is not good. I've just honestly quit. I just stopped.
Like, you gave up?
I mean, not really even gave up. I just don't see the point in it anymore. Like, I feel like for example, like Hinge and Bumble and Tinder and all that shit. I'm like, all of y'all look like carbon copies of each other. There's nothing interesting on any of these profiles that really draws me in. And not to mention, speaking of AI, since we were just talking about that, there has been cases, like not literal like court cases, but like just instances in which people have gotten on the app and just any dating app. And these apps are creating AI profiles of people that cater to your interests to keep you on the app. And you'll swipe on it. You'll think that, oh, this is a match. You'll message this person, but little do you realize it's AI. It's this AI profile catered to your wants and desires.
That's why I've been matching with so many goth girls lately.
It's false hope.
Yeah.
It's literal false hope. They're capitalizing on false hope because they want to keep these profiles going because ain't nobody out here. There's nobody interesting out here. I'm sorry. And I'm not saying I'm the most interesting person in the world. I'm sure somebody out there thinks I'm a piece of shit, and you're probably right. But all that to say, nothing interests me with a person anymore, I guess. I think that's really what it is. I just the few dates that I have been on just feel like interviews, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't really have time for this anymore. Plus I just have so much other stuff going on. I just really don't have time to invest in another person when I could just invest in myself. I think that's really what it is.
Well, I think that's what the change is for a lot of millennials, you know. Well, yeah. I think this what we're going through right now can be traced back I'm so curious to find out how radically sociologically birth control shifted our society.
Dude, I mean, just thinking about it, I don't even know specifically in the terms of birth control. I think that's given women a lot more freedom to be able to, decide whether they want to have children or not, whereas back in the day in the 50s and shit, if you got pregnant, that was it. You're going to shotgun wedding and that's done. Then you're, grumpy mom and dad for the rest of your life, So that's a real thing. And I think that's also part of it too, is that when you look at your parents' generation or even your grandparents' generation, were they really happy together? Or were they just pushed into this position by society because that's what was expected of them? It was expected of you to become married at 20 or 25 and have children and a mortgage and bills and whatever the fuck by the time you're 30. Whereas now, I'm 30, I have a cat. That's it. I'm living life, living large, big ballin'. But it's such a different period of time.
It's a different
expectation,
yeah.
And it's not even expectations from society because I feel like we've strayed from that. We're we've become a collective in which we're no longer worried about what society thinks of us. We're worried about what us thinks of us. You see what I mean? And I feel like I see that shifting extremely.
Shifting how so?
Shifting more towards individualism.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you have people back in the day, they, especially in a woman's perspective, they emphasized even in the 90s and the 2000s how to get a boyfriend or things to do to make your man want you. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. Nobody cares about that shit anymore. Nobody cares about what psychological blah bullshit that you can read in a 17 magazine to get some man that probably don't even give a fuck about you. You know what I mean? And vice versa, for men with women. I'm sure the dating game is just as awful. But yeah, I feel we are shifting more towards a perception of individualism, and we're more focused on ourselves and the things that we can do to leave a lasting impact in the world, aside from being a childbearing woman in the kitchen making sandwiches for a man who probably got 3 work wives, But I don't know. That's just my opinion. I just personally I prefer it this way. I prefer it.
I do as well. I really value my freedom.
Right.
And I really value being able to go home and no one's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing whatsoever. And sometimes I'm it would be nice to have a relationship and
sure.
be with someone and have some companionship. But also all the people that I know who are married and have kids. Not all of them.
Right.
But many of them are fucking miserable, dude.
Many of them are miserable.
Many of the people that I know who are married with kids, whether they are people our age and above,
yeah,
you know, like in their fucking 60s. I've met 60-year-old women who tell me to never get married.
Yep.
I've met 60-year-old men who tell me to never get married.
Yeah, because a lot of them got married way too young, and they didn't have like the resources or the knowledge
of themselves yet.
Correct. Like that's the thing, is just like, yeah, I'm only 30 years old, but I feel like I have so much more to learn about myself before I even think about marrying somebody or think about sharing a life with somebody. You know what I mean? And that's not to say, like, I think the same thing. I'm like, you know, it'd be nice to be in a relationship or something. It'd be nice to have a companion. But I also very much like my independence. And many relationships I've been in the past have tried to, like, diminish that. And I can't speak for future relationships being like that. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who wouldn't just like suppress my need for individualism or suppress my need for independence. But a lot of motherfuckers do that shit, unfortunately. Like, and why invest in somebody else when you could just invest in yourself? You can trust that. That's a verified source. So,
well, I think the other thing worth bringing up too is we're in Nashville, and a lot of our friends that we know and love, many of them are unmarried and they don't have kids.
Yeah.
You know,
because we're all happy. Like most of them.
Yeah, it's true. Like we're all living a kind of an alternative lifestyle to a certain degree, where we're not necessarily a part of normal society.
Right. It's a regional thing for real.
Yeah.
It's regional. And that's weird you bring that up, because I went back home for Christmas because my family lives out in North Carolina. And we went to Walmart, and I fucking hate Walmart. I hate going into Walmart. I don't like going into any big corporate store personally, just because the LED lights bother me. But anyway, not the point. We went into Walmart, and all these people, like I was just people watching, just looking around. And I'm like, in a small town in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, like it's got a Walmart, a Dollar General, and a Chili's down the street. Like, that's pretty much it for these people. You know what I mean? This is regular life. This is what they grew up, graduated from high school, got a mortgage, got a husband, whatever the fuck. This is exactly what they're going to do for the rest of their life, and they're content with that.
Yeah.
I'm not content with that.
No.
I don't want monotony in that sense. Like, I like having the variety here that we have in Nashville, and I like having the ability to just something new every day. Like, friend hits me up, let's go to this festival. Friend hits me up, let's go to this concert. Like, I love that. I love having that spontaneity that you don't get in a small town like that.
Yeah, plus I mean we're able to stay out, like, in frequently when you are playing a gig somewhere, you're out late night, you know, like it's just
right
how it's that's part of the job,
right?
You know, it goes part and parcel with it.
It's so cool too.
Yeah, like, it's fun, dude.
And you meet so many people out here too that's just like you never would have guessed you would have met. Like I've met so many people, like, I'm just like, wow, I was face to face with this person, even in, like, the most not ideal circumstances. Like, for example, like, there's just a lot of celebrities and shit out here. And I'm like, you know what? It's funny living out here. Like, you're just like, these people are just like us. And I've always kind of had that mentality, too. I'm just like, you know, at the end of the day, like, no matter how famous you are, no matter what your accomplishments are, holy shit, you're still a human being. You're still a person, you know, no matter what you've done in your life. But it's weird when you run into people like that, like people that you, like, admired at a young age, or people you listened to on a CD player at a young age or something, like, or saw on TV, like, and then you're like, oh, wow, they're at Skinny Dennis. They're over there in the corner. Like, that's crazy.
Whenever, like, I'm a huge Black Keys fan and fan of Dan Auerbach and Pat and, like, the different projects that they do.
Right.
I am so, like, I would be so scared to meet them, because, like, what if they're ass douches and I hate them and it just ruins their music for me forever? So God. It's like, if I am out and I see them somewhere, or someone's like, oh yeah, Dan and Pat are here and they're DJing a set, because that's happened.
Yeah,
like a couple times over the past year or so here in Nashville. I'm like, I don't want to go.
Right.
I don't want my opinion to be changed of them, or like meeting like Alex Turner from the Arctic Monkeys. I'm a huge Arctic Monkeys fan. I fucking love them.
Dude, that'd be sick.
I would never want to meet Alex Turner, though.
Dude.
In a million. I want to be able to hang on to, like, whatever that that personal relationship you have with them.
Right.
Like listening in your car driving somewhere.
Right.
Like I never want to lose that. I would be so scared.
Right.
I'm like, what if I hate them?
It's like the imagination is more valuable than the discovery.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah, it's like I want them to a certain degree to still stay mythic in my mind. And like social media and all that pulls that layer down a little bit.
Right.
And there's some people like Arctic Monkeys don't really fucking do interviews. Like they do, but like Alex Turner, it doesn't have a Twitter. He's not giving you his opinion on like the Minnesota shooting or something like that.
Right.
You know, which like I think someone doing that is here nor there. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not saying that at all. But it's still like I don't want to know.
Right.
I don't want to know.
I get it.
And I'm game to talk about all this shit clearly, like the most fucked up shit you can think of and ponder on it. But I also want to keep like what's sacred to me intact to a certain degree.
That's understandable. I don't know. I'm kind of the opposite in that sense. I want to see what makes them human. I think that's really like, I don't mind meeting people that like I've listened to or admire, because I'm just like, I want to see what makes them human, whether it's good or bad. Like, it's not a reflection of me.
Yeah.
If they're a dick to me.
But would it change the way that you listen to their music, though? Like, would you not
Absolutely.
be... Yeah. So
Absolutely.
that's what I'm talking about, though.
But I don't know. I'm in love with the discovery. Like, I think that's what it is. I'm like, I have to find this out. And then when I find it out, like, I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I found that out with Cherie Curry from the Runaways. Just dropping that here. But found out she wasn't very nice.
Really?
So, yeah. She was very much not nice to me at all.
Really?
So,
What happened?
Well, she was following me on Facebook for the longest time. Like, we were friends on Facebook because, like, you know, one of my old bandmates from back in the day, like, she loved the Runaways. And, like, we found out, like, Cherie Curry had a Facebook, like, way in the early stages of Facebook. And we were following each other. She would like my stuff. She would say happy birthday to me every year. And I'm like, this is Cherie Curry from the Runaways, right?
She was the singer for the Runaways, right?
Yeah.
And she was like 14 when that band started,
right?
Yeah,
yeah, very young. All of them were very young in that band. But I remember I messaged her one day, like it was like her birthday or something like that, and she was just extremely rude to me and was just like, why are you messaging me? What the fuck? Like, total mood switch. It was weird. I was like, all these years you've been wishing me happy birthday. I got receipts. Like, it's still on my Facebook wall. Like, I was like, does she not? Like, I know she doesn't actually know who I am.
Yeah.
But, like, you see my name on Facebook. Like, we've been,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And after that, I was just like, you know, I just removed her and I was like, I went on about my life. But, like, I was just like, that was just a really weird experience. Because I was like, I don't know why you're being so mean. Like, I just, like, said something to you like that, you know, just happy birthday. I don't remember exactly what it was that I said to her. But I was just like, she just came across, like, super rude. And I was just like, you know what? Here's an old bitch. Like, I don't know what to fucking say. Like, goodbye. Just get off my fucking... I don't care what you did. I don't care if you know Joan Jett. Like, whatever. Like, get off my page. But, like, that... I mean, like, it kind of sort of altered my way of listening to the Runaways or whatever. But at the same time, like, I'm not a super huge Runaways fan.
Yeah.
So it's not, like, a big deal. But, like...
At least it wasn't Joan Jett.
At least it wasn't Joan Jett, yeah. Not my twin. Like, at least it wasn't her. But Joan Jett would never. That's why she's expeditiously much more famous than Cherie Curry. So, anyway, just throwing a little shade. But otherwise, like, you know, and even in person, like, you know, I have a funny story about how I played this show at Eastside Bowl back a couple of Halloweens ago. And Tom Hamilton from Aerosmith, the bassist for Aerosmith, was filming a music video in the downstairs portion or the upper part portion of Eastside Bowl, and it was all like blocked off and shit, but we were playing like the show in the bigger stage in the back. Well, when you go into the back of Eastside Bowl, like when you go to the backstage area, you got like the backstage room, and then you go up the stairs, and then there's 2 dressing rooms. Our dressing room was on the right. Apparently Tom Hamilton's was on the left. Mind you, I'm dressed like Shego from Kim Possible. So I was standing in the dressing room. I was just chilling, whatever, I don't know, in between songs. I'm about to walk down the staircase, and I come face to face with Tom Hamilton from Aerosmith at like 2 feet away from me. I'm dressed as Shego from Kim Possible, and it's like him and his posse are just on that staircase. And the first thing I think was like, oh my God, I got to get out this man's way. So I just went back to the dressing room and just kind of like stood there until they all went into the dressing room. And then like I just kind of like I was like, oh my God, I was just face to face with somebody that used to be on my wall. That's crazy. That's wild shit.
Yeah.
Because I used to have an Aerosmith poster. So like, I was like, this is wild.
But that's Nashville, though.
That's Nashville. And I'm like, like it couldn't make it any more Nashville than that. It was Halloween. I wasn't dressed like me normally. Yeah. I was dressed as a cartoon character meeting Tom Hamilton accidentally. But yeah, I mean, you just running encounters like that are really cool to me. Like, cause I'm like, you know what? Like in the split second that I did see him, I was like, that's a human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't actually speak or like anything. We just like literally like, whoop, right in front of each other. And I was like, oh, I'm in the way.
It's surreal when you do see someone like that. Like I have seen people out and just living in Nashville, you do. Like especially going to shows and shit or going out to a restaurant.
Right. Right.
And I think like Nashville was a haven for a long time, like pre-internet, pre-Nashville being what it is today.
Right.
Where people could just blend.
Right.
You know, like Garth Brooks could go out here and fucking go get a steak dinner somewhere with his family and no one would bother him.
Go murder somebody in secret.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly go murder somebody in secret. I don't know what you think about that. You think that's a coincidence or you think that that's like maybe some truth to it?
About Garth Brooks?
Yeah, because the story is that all these murder cases or missing people also line up with like shows he's had in certain areas.
See, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. I hope it's Garth Brooks. God.
I don't know. He strikes me as a very weird guy.
Yeah.
Overall. He's like, because you do meet people sometimes in Nashville and they're out of touch with what reality I feel like really is.
Oh, 100%.
And it's almost like there's people that are very cautious and they're careful about how they interact with everybody. It's almost like they're a politician, you know?
Yeah, it's PR training.
Yeah,
it's
100%. Training. And you meet them, and it's like, yeah, they were pleasant, but something was off about them. Yeah. And I've never met Garth, but watching him just the way that he speaks and how he wants to portray himself, it's a little bit odd to me.
Yeah.
You know, because he wants to be like really like down home. I'm a good old boy, and he's got some great songs. Like I will give him that.
Sure.
He's got some songs like maybe it's not necessarily the kind of like country music that I'm into,
right.
But there's clearly an audience for it,
right?
And there is some substance there of like the writing and the performance. And I do like his song Two Pina Coladas. I like that song.
I think I know what song that is.
I like that song, and I like the song that he did as Chris Gaines, the one that was the big hit.
Oh, okay.
That's a great fucking song, dude. Like, I will stand on business for that. That it is a phenomenal song.
I didn't know he actually released music as Chris Gaines.
I'll show it to you after
cosplaying this random dude. Like,
I'll show it to you after we get done with this.
Sick.
It's honestly really fucking good.
Okay.
And he's not singing with a country accent at all. He's like singing with like what I assume to be his real voice is.
See, you know what? I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all. That's
weird. That's what's weird about it. Okay. So I did a deep dive into this, and like I had this other podcast called Man of Science, Man of Faith, where we broke like different things down, and we did an episode about the Chris Gaines behind the music, because he made a fake like behind the music.
Oh, like the MTV, like the VH1 behind them. Oh my God.
And it was all about the life of Chris Gaines, and it was like he moved here from Australia, and he was in this band, and the band blew up, and then the guy that he was in a band with got into a helicopter crash, and then Chris Gaines started partying, and he became a sex addict, and then he got into a car wreck and had to get plastic surgery, and he didn't look the same, and that's why he looks like Garth Brooks. It's insane, dude. It's like every single thing, it just keeps going. It's like a horror movie playing out. Like someone could almost make a horror movie about this, like make a fictional character. And like
I think he's trying to based on that storyline.
Well, originally he was gonna make a movie about Chris Gaines. Like he released Chris Gaines' greatest hits, like probably 1999, 2000, something like that.
Right.
In that time period, it was late 90s, early 2000s. It's pre 9/11.
That's important.
Yeah. It was a different world.
Yes. A very different world.
But so it was like Chris Gaines was a thing, and he like did like an SNL appearance as Chris Gaines.
Yikes.
And like did all of this shit and is very interesting. Like but going back to like Nashville in general, you meet someone and you can tell that they're protected. Like, and that's the sense that I get from Garth. Is any mess he has, there's always someone there to clean it up.
Yeah.
No matter the time of day. It's like Tom Cruise. At a certain point, you stop being human.
Right.
And I love Tom Cruise. Like, I love Tom Cruise movies. But
yeah,
he's a fucking Scientologist, dude.
Yeah. And I know that dude's done some shit. I know he's seen some shit. I don't know. I'm not, like... That's not to shit on anybody's religion, but I will shit on Scientology.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, it's the new version of like a modern cult.
It is a cult, yeah.
And it's like, I feel that way too about like Mormonism, you know?
Yes.
Like it's the American version of Christianity.
Yes.
But it's so far back that no one really questions it and it's seen as legitimate.
Right.
Because like Joseph Smith was an actual guy.
Yeah, and the state of Utah is very real.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean,
100%.
It makes sense that Mormonism would be, you know.
But like the way that I've always felt about like a lot of these Nashville people is that they're like sugar babies trying to protect their sugar daddy because they want to still be able to pay their rent.
I mean,
because they're on the payroll, and that's not even to dismiss that kind of scenario. Again, is it something that I would do? No, but a lot of people, they have money, they have power. It's another addiction.
Yeah,
you know, I feel like it takes someone. You have to be really fair and really moral, and view yourself in a real way, and have people in your life that are willing to be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
you know,
there's a lot of people that got yes men around them
because it's the money and power.
Yeah, exactly. They're addicted to it. So why stop something that's working for you, even if it's not a good thing?
Yeah.
So that's kind of their mentality on that.
Yeah, and it's just like, is Garth Brooks a serial killer? I don't know.
I think he is.
But would it shock me?
Especially after that fucking story. Making up stories about an imaginary man he just so happens to cosplay every so often.
Yeah.
And his name is Chris. You can't trust Chris's, man. You really just can't. That's just... Or anybody named Garth. Can you imagine? Never mind. You know what? I'm not even going to say that. Anyway.
Rose, what are you working on musically these days?
Dude, I'm in Shedonist, and we have a couple of new songs coming out, and we got an EP coming out this year, and we got a music video coming out this year as well. We also have, and I'm sure the episode, oh my God, is going to come out after the fact, but we do have a show at the East Room February 28th, so if you're there, you're there. We'll see you there, because like I said, it's probably going to be after the fact.
Oh,
it's okay.
Yeah.
But if you're there, great. But yeah, that's basically what I'm working on these days, so it's going to be some good stuff. And one of the songs we're releasing for Shedonist, I'm singing and playing guitar on. It's a song I wrote,
nice.
like 10 years ago. So now it's finally seeing light. So.
Fuck yeah. So like, are you also doing some singing in Shedonist now?
Yeah. We're like alternating now. Yeah. So me and Jasmine are kind of like, you know, she'll take the bass, I'll take the guitar, and you know, switch off. And maybe we'll have some more songs like that. But one of the songs that we're coming out for the single is me singing and playing rhythm guitar.
I cannot wait.
So
I'm very excited.
It'll be cool. Yeah, I'm excited too.
Who did you guys do the EP with?
Dark Horse Institute.
Oh, nice. Hell
yeah.
Yeah.
And they ran the tracks for us, and then we sent it to one of our guys that normally does Shedonist stuff, like to finalize and for mastering.
So okay.
It'll be cool. I'm excited to hear it. I've listened to the songs, like just the rough drafts of it, and I'm just like, man, this is awesome.
Do you have a release date for it yet?
Not yet, but we will be posting that on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Okay.
So, but yes.
It's coming soon.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming with a fucking vengeance.
I can't fucking wait, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited.
How can people find you, Rose?
Everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm not on Snapchat because that's lame. But it's the Rose Savage everywhere. So I'm the Rose Savage everywhere. So the Rose Savage. There's another person that's just Rose Savage. That's not me. She stole my name. But it's okay. She can keep it. But I'm the Rose Savage. So.
Rose, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Dude. It's always a pleasure.
Likewise, man. Hell yeah.
Keep on dreaming. I'll see you real soon.